Hi, I'm John Henwood from Clarity Studio. If you've spent any time at all in the business world, particularly in the startup zone, then you will have heard the phrase bias to action. When we say that an organization or a culture has a bias to action, we mean that there's a tendency to focus on results and outcomes, on getting things done quickly, on making things happen within a short time frame. It's really important to recognize this bias to action when you are communicating with people in business, particularly folks in young, innovative businesses. You want to think about how to make your documents and presentations very easy to digest. You want to think about how you present yourself, the energy you bring into the room, the speed at which you speak, the rate at which you report results, and so on. At the same time, knowledge translation isn't about simply accommodating the bias to action. Knowledge translation done properly doesn't turn academic knowledge into rapid fire marketing speak. It preserves the balance to the bias to action, which I think of as the academic bias to contemplation. Academics contemplate a subject, they ponder it, they look into it in depth so as to get as close to the bottom of it as they can, to really get a deep understanding of it. And I think this is really important because the world has plenty of doers. It doesn't always have enough thinkers to make sure that all of the doing that's going on is headed in a fruitful direction. A thinker who's really helped me appreciate the need to balance the bias to action with contemplation is Richard Rohr. Rohr is a Franciscan priest, and he runs a theology school aptly called the Center for Action and Contemplation. And I want to read you a line from his book, Falling Upward. He says, "The human art form," by which I think he means the art of being human, "is in uniting fruitful activity, action, with a contemplative stance, not one or the other, but always both at the same time." Now, the ability to balance action with contemplation is rare. Typically, our environment tends to push us in one direction or another. I feel this tension every time I'm in a business meeting. When I'm in a business meeting, I constantly find myself wanting to say, can we slow down? Can we just think about this a little bit more? On the other hand, when I'm in a meeting with academics, I often find myself pushing the other way and saying, okay, can we move this along? What are our next steps? Rohr suggests that those who embrace both action and contemplation experience a creative tension, the kind of tension that births new ideas and new paradigms and new inventions. So I try to remember that when I'm in those meetings and finding it a little bit awkward to straddle the world of the academy and the world outside the academy. If you also find it kind of awkward sometimes to be in these two different cultures, one with an orientation to action and one with an orientation to contemplation, I say embrace the creative tension. Hold on to both your drive to action and your commitment to contemplation, because it's through that creative tension and through expressing it through knowledge translation that you'll make the kind of impact that you simply couldn't make if you pursued either pure action or pure contemplation on their own. If you have found this video helpful, please subscribe, and I invite you to check out other videos and resources on my website as well, claritystudio.ca.